Hey guys, welcome to Street Freaks. Today we're going to cover horns for the 1958 Plymouth. This is a Sparton horn, and you know what? There's nothing worse than a horn that just doesn't blow. So today we're going to dig inside and address that issue. Come on along and let's tear this thing apart. Okay guys, so like I said in the intro, we got the Sparton horn right here, or Spartan, whatever you want to call it. It says it right along here. This is the original for the 58 Plymouth. There's two of these. There's a high horn and a low horn. That makes both of the sounds combined. Where is it at here? This one right here. This is the high horn. I'm not sure if you guys can see that right there. It's kind of in, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I just dumped dirt in my coffee. Can you believe that? I dumped dirt in my coffee. Damn. Anyways, this horn right here, it has high right there. Okay, and there's another spot on here too where it says high too. I can't remember where that is. Oh, it's on the bracket. Even the brackets are labeled. Right above my finger right there. It says high. Hi. Okay, so anyway, this horn does work. This is one of the ones off one of our parts Plymouth, and I took it upon myself to grab another one because I grabbed a set of high and low off another one of our parts cars. This one was the high and low that I had off one of our cars also, but only the high one worked and the low one did not. So I went and got a couple more off one of the other parts cars and sandblasted them. Not sand, but I blasted them anyways, and with a much milder media, and I'm still got a little bit of sand in it. Not sand, but whatever. Anyway, this is kind of what it looks like coming out of the blaster now. So you can read it much clearer now. It's the Sparton horn, Spartan, whatever you want to call it. I call it Sparton, but who knows? Whatever the hell you want to call it, doesn't really matter. It's a horn, and it blows. So this one works really good. I blasted the bracket and everything too. I am going to take the bracket off here. This bracket did say high too. You can't really read it too well right there, but I'm going to take the bracket off, blast the back side of the bracket yet, and just keep them kind of separate. I just want to take reference pictures of which angles that the brackets go and how the horns mount and all that good stuff. But anyways, you can see this one is the high horn. Ugh, my coffee's destroyed. Anyway, it says high right there. And read it as you point out. And see, I'm still tapping media out of there. So you do got to take these. That's the only thing is when you do blast these, it's a good idea probably to plug these up a little bit. The only reason I left it open was because I didn't blast directly in there at all. So it's all just kind of dust debris floating around. But you have to think about this when you're emptying this out. The dirt, or excuse me, the media all traps in here. So if we rotate the horn around like this, give it a tap, and basically keep fouling around the horn here to get this out. That's kind of how we've been emptying it out. But there's another way to do it, and I'll show you that in a minute here. Try not to make too much of a mess here, but you get the idea. We had most of it out. Well, we're still getting a little bit out. Anyway, so this is what it looks like. So anyways, the low horn that we had out of this set also stopped working. And I said, well, wait a minute, this kind of sucks. I'm not going to go out looking for more horns to try to get one that works to everything. So I did some digging into it myself and wanted to find out more about it. Now this particular cap right here, I have to send out to have chromed for the particular project that I'm doing. The rest of the horn, I'm undecided whether I'm going to paint silver yet, argent silver, or how I'm going to do the rest of it yet. I'll probably just paint that and put the chrome cap here on it, and then probably chrome the bracket. So anyway, so this is the high one. This one does work. So what you want to do is, first of all, you take this bracket off right here. Once you unbolt this bracket, just these two bolts is all you got to do. Once you unbolt that, you're going to find tabs. There's two tabs, one here, you can kind of see, and one right here, you can see there. Okay, and basically what they look like is just like this. They're fold over tabs. fold over there and a fold over, if I can find it on camera, right in there. Okay. There we go, right there, yeah. So you take those tabs and you just kind of bend them up slightly a little bit, just enough to pop this cover off, and then this cover comes off, okay? All your connections stay in there, and that's just a little rubber grommet kind of punched out for all the plugs. So these ones that run this direction here with the circle are your positives, and these two are your negatives, okay? So it's basically, so if you're gonna run the car into the high horn, your main power, and then it runs from the high horn to the low horn. And they complete it, and when they both sound together, that's when you get that great iconic Plymouth sounding horn. So this is your high. I'm going to show you what it looks like now with the cover popped off. This one didn't need to be repaired, so I'm not going to pop the cover off this one. I might, just to clean it anyways while I'm in there, but let's show you what they look like inside. Before we get too far in depth on these horns, on the Sparton horns, repairing these horns, I got to ask you something. Did you subscribe yet? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? I got a secret for you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Today only, I'm going to offer you subscription is free. I know. Nice guy, sounds like a good deal. Doesn't cost you a dime to click that subscribe button down there below. Okay, so let me grab the low one. Once you pop the cover off, and I'm going to kind of grab this here as sitting together, but basically once you pry those up and you pop the cover off, okay, here's your cover right here, and this is your rubber gasket right here. This is over top of the wiring, and we're going to make a new one of these, just because I think this one is a little stressed over the years per se. So probably just get a new little chunk of rubber and make a new gasket for that. And that kind of sits over top of here like this. Keeps dust, dirt, debris, water from getting inside the horn via the cap. Okay, now inside the cap you'll see really, really nice yet. This is all still factory paint, original paint. So this horn obviously was originally black, but it's still really nice. I mean, it's dusty in there, but really nice original paint yet still inside the cap. So set that aside. So when you tear these apart, there's a couple things to look for. This is the low horn, like I said, inside. The high horn I have not had apart yet, but I do plan to take that one apart and clean it the same way that I did this one. This horn did not work. Once I went through all the trouble of blasting, I tested it first prior to, and I got a little honk out of it. Didn't really think too much of it. I kind of blasted it type of thing. I thought, okay, I'm cool, it's good to go. And it did not want to work after that. So I kind of was concerned that I ruined the horn and wrecked it and all that good stuff, but I'm convinced now that it works like $1,000,000. So, take this rubber off here. There. Okay, so once again, looking at these connections here, you can see that this top one here, this is the ground one here, and this is the hot one here. If you look under where the plates go, you'll kind of have a better idea. This hot one here, you can see it attaches. There's like a fiber board there, like that computer fiber board there, chipboard, in between the two. So this one here actually goes under here. You'll see this connection right here goes under, and it actually leads to a connection right here underneath the fiber board. But you can see it just underneath that nut right there. Okay, that would be your ground. Okay, and that feeds, it's kind of like points in here. If you're familiar with those. The bottom one has a lip on it in there. Then there's fiberboard with a hole in it, and it touches the top one here, the hot one, which is fed by this side here. Okay, and feeds these prongs right here, these are hots. So basically what happens is when the signal comes through there, when the electricity comes through there, completes a circuit, they vibrate right here at this seam. And I hope this is showing up, focusing on this for you. So they vibrate right here in this area here. This right here is your adjustment bolt. Okay, you can see I got it adjusted to where it's just a little lower than flush with the nut. That seems to work the best. Okay, you can adjust these and tighten them up, but if you get too much of a vibration sound and not as clear of a sound, then you have to either tighten or loosen it. So what I did was I had it a little bit too tight and I was getting a vibration sound. And then when I had it a little bit too loose, I was getting no signal at all, no sound at all. And when I had it too tight, I was getting no sound at all. But when you get almost there, you get a vibration, a little bit of a rattling noise. It doesn't really sound as clear as it should. So I had to kind of play around with it a little bit, and I kind of looked where it was set originally. But I think one of the other things that I discovered was that the connections was very dirty between the two. So what I did is like you would with points, the same type of way you would with points. I took this little tiny strip, and this is 180 grit sandpaper. I cut that little strip, okay? And I kind of took the screwdriver and pried this down a little bit, the circuit board, and to slide this in there. And you can do it. Well, another thing you can do too is I adjusted that nut down quite a ways to hold this down because it pushes this circuit board down. And once you get that through there, you can kind of run it through there a little bit, but it doesn't want to because I got it too tight right now. So anyways, so what you want to do is, the best way we found to do it is you tighten this nut down so it separates this connection in here. You want those point connections separated in there. So tighten the nut down. Don't put too much stress on that board because it is older, remember? But tighten it down to where you can see through there that the connections are not making connection. Once you do that, take your 180 grit sandpaper, slide it in there with the grit side facing down first. Give it a couple strokes back and forth like that. Inside there, of course. Take it out. Flip it over. Again, now we want to grind the top one a little bit. Just sand it a little bit off the top one just to kind of clean it up a little bit. So we slid that in there. Give it a couple strokes back and forth like that on your top connection. Blow it off really, really good. Clean it off really good. Make sure it's really nice and clean. Then you can start backing the nut off to where they just start to make connection. Play around with the positioning of this nut until you get just the right sound out of the horn. It is going to take a little while to do that, to get it set just right. This one, when I first hooked it back up, I had, no sound. I had a really bad vibration sound, like a rattling, and it was kind of a pain. But anyways, once I got it adjusted just right, it sounded really good. So, like I said, this horn was not working, so it works great now. And I'm super confident to put this thing on the car now and have it working really good. I did go ahead and clean these connections up some more too with sandpaper because I didn't like the way the blaster left them kind of rough. So I wanted them nice and smooth and definitely on the bare metal. So I did clean those up with a little bit of sandpaper on those. So they're still nice and strong, not rotted off, so that's great. We're gonna go ahead real quick. I do have a battery here on my bench here. We're gonna go ahead and hook this up real quick and kind of show you the sound it makes now for the low horn. And combined with the high, it's going to make a great sound. You probably should have the wire ends on there, but I don't have those available right now. But all right, we should get something here. Let's see what we get. Works like $1,000,000. This is a horn that I was ready to throw out and ready to trash, and I had no idea that they could be repaired or fix that easily. So I just really wanted to make this video for you guys to show you guys out there that, once again, don't be afraid to attack something like this and fix your horns. So it should be easy enough to do. So I guess if you guys got any questions, let me know. This is a case of wiring here. You can check out all your wiring, make sure that it's still in good shape. Wiring all still looks pretty good on this one. The original wiring, which I don't really see the wiring on these getting damaged too much, being that they're enclosed as good as they are. So anyways, guys, there you have it. Just a quick review on the 58 Plymouth horn, fixing your connections. Just like points, treat it the same type of way. Gently sand them, be very careful, be gentle with them. Yeah, get them cleaned up. Just your adjuster nut, adjust that. In the 58 Plymouth owner's manual, it doesn't cover a whole lot on these, but I found it pretty interesting once I tore it apart. I like to see how things work, so This was something I was prepared to send out and have repaired, and I'm super glad I didn't. It was something now that I was able to fix on my own. I didn't need anybody to fix it for me, and that means an awful lot to me. So it doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but it does to me. I didn't really have the time to do it, but I did it anyway. Hopefully this will help you guys as well to be able to get your horns fixed and have them working like new. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the high horn, and just to clean up all the connections, even though it does work, we're gonna go ahead and clean it up. Let's test it real quick. See if we can get the high horn to work now. That one actually sounds pretty good. So I think the high one is all set. I don't even think we need to clean the connections. We might, once we pop the cover off it, type of thing, just to kind of go through it. Maybe I'll put a new rubber gasket on it, because this one is a little wore out too. So there you have it, repairing the Sparton horn for the 58 Plymouth. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like this video, like I said before, we have lots of things we're doing for the Christine project, and the horns is just one of them. We're learning an awful lot about this car. We're tearing into just about everything on this car, and hopefully these videos are going to help you guys rebuild your own 58 Plymouth or Chrysler product or Mopar product that has these Spartan horns. So I would assume that a lot of these horns are all about the same. I do have some off a 60 Imperial that I'll be tearing into as well, just to kind of see if they work the same way, which I'm sure they probably do. So yeah, we'll admit, this horn repair may seem like kind of a simple project to a lot of people, but we're quite sure there's a lot of people out there who didn't know some of the things that we covered here today. And those are the people that we did the video for. Those who did not know how these things worked. So now you know, now you have a little bit better idea, a little bit better understanding, and we hope that it gave you the encouragement to attack that project on your own. So that's really what the video was for, guys. It's not for the expert or the professional, it's for the beginner. So that's why we did the video, and we haven't been able to find any videos showing the same thing. So one thing that we don't ask very often is we ask you to share this video. If you guys have car guy friends out there who get into some of the how-tos or junkyard tours or any of the types of things that you find on our channel, and you know there's lots of different cars on our channel that you'll find on there. So if you have any people out there, any friends, family that get into that kind of thing or whatever, please share the video with them. We appreciate you guys tuning in very, very much. So please click like and subscribe down below if you liked the video, and if you want to see a whole lot more regarding the 58 Plymouth project and several other projects. Once again, guys, thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. That's all we got for now, but we will talk to you next time on the next episode. Don't miss it. Free to subscribe.